This is an amazing week for getting insights about our path forward. It's an amazing week for getting insights around relationships, next level relationships, our new timelines, new earth, if anyone's tapping into any of that sort of stuff, right? Like ascension, this new timeline that we might feel like we're on. This is an awesome, like potentially the best week for getting insights around that, for getting guidance, for having the capacity to translate energetics into thought, into action. I'll tell you why. We'll talk about the themes for the week, and I want to give you a good practice at the end. Y'all ask for more practices, like, hey, Sabrina, give us embodiment practices. This is great. So we'll do one of those at the end that you can tap into to work with the energy of this week. Okay, so why is this such a good week for insights and intuitions and guidance for our highest path forward? Mercury was just in an amazing aspect to the nodes of fate. Your north node, your truest true north. Mercury is messenger of the gods. It's the mind. It's the translator. So literally the messenger of the gods went to your truest true north, right? Your highest path forward, your soul purposes, future visions, right? Like the thing that makes you feel the most fulfilled in this life. Yeah, he literally just went there and was like having a good little visit. So we start the week off where Mercury is still connected to that energy, still able to pull in the insights for that energy. Now, Monday, so keep this in mind, like this whole week is about pulling in the insights. Now, Monday, we have Pluto square to Mars. That's power dynamics, power plays. Where are you sourcing your power from? What would you go to war for? What would you go, what is it that you are so passionate about, so truly aligned with, North Node aligned, that you are alive for, that you would die for, that you would live for? I love those lines. I came out in a ReWilding retreat once. Like, it was like, what would you die for? Right? What would you die for? Really deeply, truly, because Pluto is going to hold us to those deep, 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 deep truths. Whether they're conscious or not, he's going to hold us to those deep truths. What would you die for? What would you live for? So Monday's a really good day to go translator Mercury. He is so loud. There's so much in Gemini right now, right? I'm not always talking about the mind, right? I'm talking about like other wisdom centers of the body, blah, blah, blah. Right now is a time to switch the mind on. It's a time to get the mind involved. It's a time because the mind can translate deeper wisdom, higher wisdom, soul language. It's literally translating the language of the soul. So Monday, start of the week, Monday, Tuesday, right? I mean, you don't have to be exact about this stuff because the energy's there. So Monday, you want to feel into what would I live for? What would I live for? And just let that translate. However you want to do that. Let that, maybe do reflective questions. Maybe you go for a walk on it, but you really, and tap into, here's a power play. Power play for Monday, Tuesday. Tap into your sexual center. Really and truly. Like if there was one center that was linked to Pluto and Mars, right? Linked to Pluto, Pluto would be the sexual center. Go right into second chakra area, right into sexual energy, right into sexual energy. Open it up. What's here? What's here? Like, what am I so wildly passionate about? I love doing this practice. Here's a little like sneaky little, sacred sexuality practice that I do a lot for myself. And it's like, what is it that's turning me on? What are the fantasies? Do this or try it. Maybe it's not for you. That's cool too. Don't stress about it. But what is it that's turning me on right now? What fantasies are turning me on right now? And what does that represent? I am telling you, it is a really good way into the unconscious. It is a really good way into those deep power centers. It's a really good way to tap into what is it that's running your life that you don't know about. For real. Tap into deep fantasies. Like, let's say you have a fantasy about surrendering. This is like usually my go-to one when I talk about things. And it's a genuine one. Like I like a fantasy about surrendering over, right? Like surrendering into being taken, right? Being taken. I know that when I'm having strong fantasies around that, and then I feel into it, it's like there's something in my life that I'm wanting to surrender over to the divine that I'm not surrendering over to. There's something that I want to surrender over to higher self, higher wisdom that I'm not surrendering over to. It's such a great doorway in. Let me know if you try that practice. Let me know if that sings to you, right? I mean, really and truly, you can start it off just by like very surface level, what's turning me on? What is my current sexual fantasy, What's my current sexual fantasy? But then dive deeper. Don't just leave it at the surface like, ooh, this is what turns me on right now. Like touching my nipples turns me on. And then you leave it there. I mean, that's great too if you want to live on the surface. It's fine. That's also fun. That's beautiful. That's glorious. But that's not what I'm talking about, right? You go like, okay, cool. Like touching my nipples, that turns me on right now. And then you go deeper, 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 deeper. What is it about that? What is that representing? What does that mean? What does that mean? What is that about? Maybe you dream on it. Maybe you journal into it. Maybe you take a shamanic journey into it, right? Super powerful for Monday, Tuesday. That's a power play. Let the mind translate it. We're still staying with the mind. This is Gemini season. It is Mercury in beautiful aspects to translate. Really great stuff. Okay, next we move into healing. So come, like, I mean, this has been going on, right? This will be all week, but like Wednesday, we'll just say all week. Hygeia and Chiron are conjunct. They're the big healers of the zodiac. Chiron is the shamanic healer, so deep shamanic healing. Deep shamanic healing, shamanic initiations. Yeah, that's pretty good, right? Hygeia, Kundalini goddess of miraculous awakening and healing, sacred sexuality, sexual healing. That's Hygeia, right? So Hygeia, it's like it's like Shakti, it's Kundalini. It's just like, I don't want to go too far into that energy because I'll end up taking us down like a super tangent on that. But those two are conjunct. They're hitting 3 aspects of self. So feel into these. These could be practices that you dive into. These 3 aspects of self, they are coming into interaction with this week. So all week you could dive into these 3 areas. 1, the mind. How good is that? Yes, the mind. The mind having a deep shamanic awakening. That's pretty good. I'd love for a little bit more of mystic mind capacities. I'd love for a little bit more of shamanic capacity to walk in both worlds at the same time, to be able to translate that shit. Yeah, that's pretty good. So that's Chiron in the mind. Now you think about Hygeia and the mind, just like the rewiring, the Kundalini awakening of the mind, like awakening up to higher wisdoms, waking up to like Sophia wisdom, like the feminine wisdom in the air, and the mind being able to translate that. This is a great week, right? Everyone's talking about this is going to be such a bad week. Yeah, sure, it's hard, but there's also really glorious aspects. And the trick here is to attune to them. Where consciousness goes, energy flows. Where your attention goes, energy flows. This is why I do these things, so we can put our attention on the shit that's gonna bring us the goods, right? On like where the magic is at. That's what I do, these week videos, these weekend videos. It's like, here's where the magic is at. Here's where the good stuff is at. Here's where we want to attune ourselves to, so that we don't fall into like the Saturn pitfall, right? Because also on Wednesday, Saturn is square Mercury. Saturn is square Mercury. So while all this like magical healing shit's going on, we're also gonna be hitting roadblocks. So stay tuned for that. Hitting roadblocks. Here's what Saturn's asking this week. Whole week, because Saturn's hit the sun, Saturn's hit Venus, Saturn's squaring everything. And he's just like, boof, 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 reality. He's asking us to bring it into reality. And some of us are gonna be quitters around that. Some of us are gonna be like, I'd rather just dream about it. Yeah, I'll just like keep it over here on my vision board, dreamy, right? And Saturn's like, no, you said you wanted that. Here's what it's going to take to get that. That's Saturn. And that's this week too. Let the mind translate, right? And then find the things that you are so passionate about, that you love so much, that are so true as true north aligned. The insights, true as true north. What would you die for? What would you live for? Right? What would you die for? What would you live for? Because that's where enough juice is going to be at to get you past the quit. That's where enough juice is at so that you can bring the dreams into reality. This is so stunning. It's so perfect. It's not easy, but it's perfectly designed to move us along that truest true north path, right? That truest true north path. Okay, let me feel into this. I've given us a couple of practices already. Let me see if there's anything else. I said that there's a third aspect that this Chiron Hygeia healing is hitting. It's the sun. It's the sun. So first, I think I talked about the mind, how it's hitting the mind, so healing of the mind. Next, it's hitting the sun, conscious part of the self, the sun. The thing that we are most identified with in ourselves. We're getting hit with Chiron healing, shamanic healing, Hygeia healing. That's glorious. That can be awakenings. That can be deep shamanic healing. It can also bring wounds up to the surface to be, to come into next right relationship with, whether that's healing or that's next level acceptance of them. And the third part that healing is hitting is the feminine. And that's going to lead us into the weekend, which I'll do much more about that in the next video, right? Astrology for the weekend. But it's a big weekend of feminine reclamation, a big weekend of feminine reclamation. So Chiron and Hygeia are also in a beautiful aspect to the Venusian part of self, the Venus, right? Aphrodite, like goddess of love, of relationships, of beauty, of sensuality, of sexuality. That aspect of self, our creativity, our flow states, is getting really good healing aspects. That's beautiful. That's stunning. Yes. So I love this week. It's a lot about the mind. Let me give us a quick summary and see if I can give us a practice around this. Yeah, I got to get practice for us. All right, quick summary of it. Let the insights come. Let the insights come. Turn your attention to what is it that you would live for? What is it that you would die for? What are you so fucking passionate about that you're going to be able to break through the Saturn lessons, the karmic lessons? Because that's Saturn, Father Time, Lord of Karma, right? That's the Saturn lessons. What is it that you're going to be able to move through your own quit, right? Saturn shows you, here's where your quit is at. This is, you got a lot of quit in you. You're just, yeah, okay. But when we're aligned with the truth, true north, like we have the juice because we're in alignment to break through the quit, to break through the Saturn opposition. It's a perfect lineup. It's a perfect setup. It's the way that we manifest, right? It's the way that the like universe, the cosmos ensures that we are manifesting the right shit for our soul, not our little selves, for your big self. Feeling all that. That's so good. That's so good. Okay, practice for this week. Have some conversations. Have some soul conversations. Maybe you don't have like a group or, you know, a place to go where you can have soul conversations. Join us in the ReWilding Facebook group. We'll put some posts up this week where it's like good reflective questions, things to think about, right? So that we can really spark and help to get the intuitive insights, to get the breadcrumbs for your true north path, to really open up to that intuitive guidance that's available, right? Let's let Mercury, let's let the mind translate the good stuff, translate the good stuff. That's what it's all about this week. Okay, I love being here with you all. I would love to see you in the comments. Let me know your favorite part. I would love to know your favorite part. What's your favorite part of this video? Was it the practice? Was it like the weekly rundown? Was it the themes? Was it, I don't know, like the energetic transmission? Some people are like, Sabrina, it's just so like energizing for me. That's my favorite part of the video. Sometimes it's the fucking hat. I don't know. It could be anything, but I would love to know your favorite part of the video. I'm on comments all day today, so it's me in there. Would love to see you all there. I love what we're doing together. Come join me in the Facebook group. That'll be the next place, and we'll support us through this week, asking some really good questions to like get the mind going and really like help support our translator. All right, that's it for me. I love you all very much, and I will see you very soon.